Hey, Scott. Hey, William. William, I just talked to you. You can't get enough of me, William. Let's see here. And we'll have over the next couple of minutes, we'll have more people hopping on. So I'll wait a little bit before I really get started here. And this won't be a long presentation, guys, probably 20 minutes once we get some people on here. But Peter, I'm excited. I'm excited, sir. I think you sent an email today that I saw it come through, but I didn't click on it yet. Your travel itinerary, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it. I got a hotel room. They say there's only like 3 rooms left, but yeah. Of course, that could change.
I'm gonna let Johnette here. I'm gonna let Johnette be the co-host so she can let people in as needed.
Is that your sister's real name?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, John and Johnette.
Have any other brothers and sisters?
Not that we know of.
Let's see here. So
Good
we'll
to
get.
see you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll get started here in just a minute here. I know we had a number of people register. It was a small group, which is what I wanted really. So this worked out perfectly. And I'm going to mute her. I'm going to turn off her camera just there. And there we go. And so I'll be talking about the boardroom. What is the boardroom? Why the boardroom? What all entails? Why it's quite a bit different than my typical 3-day live event, which I stopped doing last year, and why I decided to do this. And so certainly at the end, William's one of my dream partners, but Scott and of course Peter, if you have questions. And there's Bill. Oh, Bill got on an hour early. I saw. I'm going to let him get in here. There he is. Hey, Bill.
You there?
Yeah, Bill. Hey, I saw that you logged in like an hour early. So I don't know.
Yeah, I got the Eastern and all that messed up.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah, when I put up my emails with times, I always put Central Time because that's where I am. If I ever move to North Carolina, I'll put Eastern Time. I think my wife wants to buy a ranch out there so she can ride her horse all day. But
Well, you better get to it before it all sells out.
well, I know I already joined some North Carolina real estate investing groups where there's a lot of number of properties you can get out there for seller finance. So, and that's what I would do is seller finance it. But she fell in love with it when she went this year. So, yeah, so we'll go and get started here, guys. And Johnette's the co-host, so she can let people in as they come on board here. So like I said, really small group, super small group tonight, which I knew was going to be small. That's really what I planned. I didn't want to have 100 people on this call just because I wanted to keep it fairly short and get you all the information that you needed. So let's talk about the boardroom. What is the boardroom? Why the boardroom? Where did it all begin? And what's different about the boardroom than the big 3-day events that I used to do? That my last one was in October. So I stopped doing the big 3-day events. Last year was my last one. We had whatever it was, 70 people, I think, there. Wonderful people, great event. But I'm gonna let him in. But at the end of the day, I love doing the 3-day events. The downside of the 3-day events is there's downsides on both sides. One for me is it's very, very expensive to put on a big event like that with a big boardroom and all the staging and everything, AV people, everything that goes with it. It's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And then you've got to get the people in the room, and it's very expensive. And it really takes me about a couple of months to ramp up and prepare for such a large event. And then I'm wiped out for probably a few days afterwards. But I enjoyed the live events, the big events. The downside to the participants, the audience members there at the big events, are they're although I'm interacting with them, I'm running all around the audience and jacking with people and having fun. At the end of the day, they're getting a lot of information, very, very solid information. However, they're not leaving with something personalized, a game plan personalized for them based on where they live, based on their schedule, and this and that. Although the information they've gotten is phenomenal, they're not leaving with, okay, I've got an action plan to start Monday. And also, they do some networking there, but I can see the people in the crowd that are just kind of hunkered down to themselves, and they're not interacting with people, or maybe they're just introverts or whatever. So there's a plus and a downside to the big events. Now, I've been an attendee at many big events. Rod Cleef event with like 300 people, huge event, delivers great content, and but some of the same things happen. Rod brings the information in a big way. It can be overwhelming because you had 300 people in a room and not one-on-one time with Rod or whoever the presenter was to say, okay, here's what I'm doing. Here's what my schedule is like. Here's a game plan. Here's an actual game plan. So when I look back over my most successful students ever outside of our current dream partners, my most successful students really were the ones that I trained early on, 2009 for sure, where people would pay $4,000 and spend 2 days with me at my house, and we would go look at properties and all of that. So 2009, I did that for about 4 or 5 people. One of them is pretty well known now. He does more land now than anything, but pretty well known. 2010, 2011, I started doing boardroom events where we would meet in downtown Fort Worth. I think we did one in Atlanta, but we would meet at downtown Fort Worth at a hotel, and I would have a boardroom. So there were 8 to maybe 10 people. This particular boardroom holds 8 people. So now you have 8 people in a boardroom, and whether they're an introvert or not, they're going to get to know everybody, and I'm going to be talking to them and calling them out and getting them to engage and all of that. So now when you're in a room with 8 people and the educator, or the educators, in this case, myself and Joe Seski, where we're giving all this information, what's different about that is so many facets to that. One, in a big ballroom with 70 people, I tell people specifically, do not ask any questions until I stop and say any questions. Because I've got to cover all this content. There's 70 people in the room. And I try to answer all the questions. With 8 people in the room, I can be talking, and you can, it's small to say, hey, now, John, when you said blah, 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 and now we can stop and address that question. So it's much, much more personalized than a big ballroom, right? Also, with 8 people in a room, you're getting, we're going to be doing a much deeper dive on some other topics, but you're getting, the same information would from a 3-day, but at a much deeper level. Because with a 3-day event in a big ballroom, I can only go so deep before the audience start losing them. Their eyes start glazing over. Well, with a boardroom, it makes it easier to do that deep dive on some of these very important topics because it's just 8 of us in a boardroom. We can do that deeper dive. Also at the boardroom, so also the boardroom, my goal is to have personalized one-on-one time with each attendee there. Probably on the 3rd day, take about 20, 30 minutes with each person individually. After we've gone through a couple of days of content, say, okay, now let's start to structure your plan and your game plan here. And that may entail, what is your typical week like? Do you work a full-time job? What are those hours like? Is the spouse support? You're really crafting that around them personally so that we can craft out a framework so when they leave, they've got a very personalized game plan that they know, okay, when I go home, I've got John's giving me homework. I've got boom, 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 personally crafted to them. Now, as far as the content we'll be covering at the boardroom, on the 3-day ballroom events, I normally really stick with lease options. I do talk a little bit about seller finance. but mainly just lease options. This boardroom, though, we'll be covering lease options, of course, in depth, but also seller finance, full price seller finance. What does that look like? Subject to more and more now, as the market continues to interest rates go up and market, the world is a mess. Or so I hear. I haven't watched the news in a long time, but from what I hear, it's a mess. I've seen, and I've done this for 20 years, guys. I've never in my life seen this many subject to opportunities in my life. Subject to is where you take over the payments of the property. So we'll be diving into seller finance, subject to, what to do, what not to do. There are some people teaching subject to that are, be honest, they're my friends. I know them, but some of the things they're teaching are just completely wrong. And I know it because I'm getting some of their students coming to me saying, "Hey, I got this deal in wherever," and I'm looking at it saying, "We got to redo this. This is a mess." So there's a lot of opportunity in subject to. We'll be talking about that. How can you literally take over someone's house payment and own the house? What does that look like? How can you lock up a house subject to and then sell that so you literally have no money involved? And so we'll talk about that as well. How do you structure that? What do the investors look for when buying a house subject to? So we talk about lease options, seller finance, how we mingle the two, and all of that. So we'll be diving into a lot more strategies, different strategies than we have in the past. And the timing couldn't be better for this because, again, the way the market is right now. So again, you're going to be doing a deep dive on lease options, very, very deep dive on lease options. We're not holding anything back from the normal 3-day event, but we're also going to be able to go a deeper dive. Seller finance strategy, subject to. We'll also be doing live calls at this event. We always do live calls for our 3-day event. This event's a little bit different, though, because there's 8 people in the room. We're going to be doing live calls to sellers in each person's area, whether you live in Pensacola or whether you live in Tallahassee or Atlanta or wherever you live. We're going to be doing live calls in your area. That's huge. Our goal, you never know what's going to happen on live seller calls. Our goal is to at least get some seller price sheets out, hopefully for each person's area. I can't promise that because Joe and I have been on the phone before at a live event for an hour and only got over like 2 people. So you never know, but we're going to be calling each area live. Something else we're going to do, and this is an interactive event, is we're going to have you all call as well. You're going to hear us on the phone. All right, now Peter, you try now, and we'll critique you and talk about, not to make fun of you or anything, but to say, okay, hey, here's some things I would change. Here's some verbiage I would reword, etc. So again, live seller calls for each target area. Again, everybody's going to leave with a personalized, extensive game plan based on their, what their schedule normally looks like. There may be someone there that works a full-time job, or maybe they work on Saturdays, whatever the case may be. All right, well, let's craft this around this so that you can execute when you get home. So again, it's going to be downtown Fort Worth, December 7th, 8th, and 9th. There are only a total of 8 seats in the boardroom. I may be bringing in an extra seat for a special guest that it looks like I'm bringing in to talk even deeper about subject to and seller finance, which I'm not going to announce just yet. You all wouldn't be familiar with him. He's very, very well known in Texas, but he's excited to come and present as well. So again, so it's going to be 3 days, December 7th, 8th, and 9th. The locations in downtown Fort Worth at a hotel in downtown Fort Worth. We've already got the room reserved and all of that. Then, of course, everybody there is going to get, this is important, guys, you're going to get access to all of my entire lease option course, my entire trainings. We've even got some bonus trainings there that we're giving as well. In a couple of weeks, we're going to be getting on a Zoom call with all of the people that are attending to go through the training, to show you where everything's located, see what questions you've had so far. We may actually end up doing 2 Zoom calls, but the point of the Zoom call is, before the event, is so that you don't come into the event blindsided and go, wow, I haven't watched any of your videos, John. I haven't read the manual yet. I want you to come to the event prepared to at least done some homework and at least read the operation manual, gone through the videos. So that we kind of laid the foundation there even before you get to the boardroom. So again, we're gonna have a Zoom call here in about 2 weeks, and we'll reach out to everybody to let them know when that is. Again, because there's 8 people in the room, you're getting very personalized attention. Again, people would pay $4,000 for the one-on-one with me for 2 days back in the day. And so it's not one-on-one, but it's, you're going to get some one-on-one time with me, but it's about as close as you can get, for sure. So again, you get 3 days, my entire training that we normally sell for $1,300. You're going to get all of that, bonus training, bonus course as well. And for the people that are in attendance that are polite to me and laugh at my jokes, I'm going to buy dinner Thursday night. So just kind of keep that in mind. So I'll be watching to see who laughs, the reactions to my material. And I'll be taking names. But it's again, so 3 days, December 7, 8, 9, downtown Fort Worth. So again, I'm going back to old school. I was thinking about what did I really enjoy? And I enjoyed the big events, but at the end of the day, I just liked, my heart was in the boardroom where it was just 8 people. Cause I love teaching what I do. I love helping people. And there's a difference when you're on stage with 70 people. There is certainly, especially with me as my background as a comedian, with a big ballroom, there's certainly, for me on stage, there's certainly an aspect of it where there's a show, meaning because I'm jacking with the audience so much and this and that. With the boardroom, I'll still be me, but it's going to be, less of the stage show, if you will. No lights, no cameraman, anything like that. But I'm super excited to do this boardroom, and the people that attend, they're going to leave with a serious game plan. So I say this, the boardroom is not for someone that is an event junkie that likes just going to events. There are people that do that. The event is not for someone that just wants to kind of dabble in real estate. The event is for someone that says, John, I'm tired of dabbling. Maybe I'm tired of being the event junkie. I got to do this. And there's no better time than right now because of the way the market is with interest rates going up, sellers having a horrible time trying to sell their houses, less buyers out there. This is the absolute best time I've ever seen since 2008 to be in this market, to be in this niche.
Oh, why do you say that, John?
Because the creative real estate works in any market, but it is incredible in a down market. Why? Because sellers need a plan B. So that's where your supply is going to come from. The demand's from the buyer, the supply is from the seller. If the last couple of years, you've still had lease options and seller finance subject to. But what happens is when that last bit of the hockey, I call it the hockey stick, the last part of that bubble, and people can put a sign in their yard and people are overbidding each other. That's the last gasp of stupidity is what I call it. Then the creative finance isn't as popular because they think they don't need a plan B. Now, more and more sellers are like, tell me about that plan B. I need out of this house. Whether they're moving or whatever the case may be.
I got a question. Now, most of the people that have been trying to sell, they're tied up with realtors. How do you get them away from a realtor? I
don't get them away from a realtor. That's a perfect question for the boardroom, Peter.
Okay.
Well, actually, that's a perfect question for our Zoom call that we'll have in probably about 2 weeks. Yeah. Okay.
So but all stuff is going to apply to Florida as well as Texas. And we kind of, the reason I asked you that first question about why is the market so good for this process was because until recently in Florida, we've been pretty much a buyer's market. And I just did a search on Zillow and found that Pensacola has over 500 homes that have been on the market for over a year. These guys are getting desperate. I clicked on a couple of the homes and see them dropping the price $10,000 every 2 weeks or sometimes every week.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time, and
Yeah,
they're
so-
hurting.
Yeah. So what happens in a down market, guys, is if you've ever done the stock market, the same thing happens in the stock market. My background is day trading. So what happens is the sellers are trying to catch a falling knife because they're at this price, the neighbor drops or the competition drops. Now they got to go below that, right, to try to look more appealing. And now it becomes it's really a fight to the bottom is what it is. And that's one of the reasons most markets drop faster than they go up. It's like trying to catch a falling knife. And so again, Peter, perfect example of why this is so perfect right now. The boardroom is perfect timing for this, for anybody that says, I want to do this. I'm tired of sitting on the sidelines, tired of dabbling with watching YouTube or whatever. I want to build a business out of this. And that's what the boardroom is really about, is putting you immersed in the room, showing the strategies, giving you the marketing strategies, all the tools you need, and having a definite game plan. So again, it's December 7th, 8th, and 9th in downtown Fort Worth. The investment for the boardroom is $2,500. What a couple people have done is put down a deposit or paid half. We actually have a website that you cannot go to right now. I guess it'll be up tomorrow. It didn't get switched over in time. boardroomliveevent.com, where you can either pay in full or have a seat deposit. So I say that because since the website isn't up right now, everybody on this call and the people that watch this probably tomorrow on the recording, if you're saying, hey, this is what I need, this is what I want. I don't need to be, number one of 300 in a ballroom to learn real estate. I've got to be in an environment where I've got one-on-one with the instructor there, the educator, and they're helping me actually in my area and pulling up leads in my area. If this is something that you decide this is for you, then you can send me a text message. I'll put my phone number in the chat box because the website didn't get put up yet. It's built, but didn't get switched over in the server. So I'm going to put my phone number in the chat box. It's 817-980-0068, 817-980-0068. That is my personal cell number. If you're interested, Peter's got a seat. Peter's got his seat reserved already. Already got his, I think his airline tickets already booked and everything. If you're interested in this or want a little bit more information, send me a text message with your name. Hey, John, this is Mike or whatever. Interested in the boardroom. Let's get on a phone call. I'm talking to every single person that's coming to the boardroom because I want to get to know who's interested, who's coming, make sure you're a fit for this. So again, 817-980-0068. You can shoot me a text if you feel like this is really something that's going to help empower you and launch you. If you're tired of sitting on the sidelines or dabbling, watching everybody else do real estate, this is definitely the event to be to. Again, to reiterate on the investment, it's $2,500. You can either do you can either pay in full or you can do a seat deposit. On the website that should be up tomorrow, boardroomlive.com. I'll send that out with the replay when I send this out. There will be a box there where you can secure your seat there with a either paying full or $1,000 deposit. I do want to say something very quickly, though, very, very important about the commitment. Is once you commit to the boardroom, whether it's the paying full or the seat deposit, there are no refunds. The reason for that is there's only 8 seats. So if you hold a seat for 6 weeks and you can't make it, well, I can't fill that seat. There's only 8 seats. This is not a room with 70 people with a $97 seat deposit. So this is for the people that are serious about getting started in real estate and building a business out of this. Again, everybody's going to leave with a personalized business plan for them. If you're watching this recording, will probably be up tomorrow. The website should be up. You can learn a lot more information at boardroomliveevent.com, boardroomliveevent.com, and you can even secure a seat there as well. Otherwise, whether you're on this call right now, Bill Fisher was so excited he got here an hour early, like he's going to a Bon Jovi concert. He's trying to get him before they open the gates. So if you're on this call, or even if you watch the replay, you can just text me as well. 817-980-0068. Just text me your name. Let me know you're interested in the boardroom. Let's jump on a call and have that conversation. Again, December 7th, 8th, and 9th, downtown Fort Worth. Right now, we got 3, so there's 5 seats. Sorry. As I record this right now, there are 5 seats available. 5 seats available right now. So they will go. This will definitely sell out because there's only 8 seats. But I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited to bring the material and get to know everybody on a deeper personal level. I'm excited to go back to my roots, back to the basics of 2010, 2011, doing an event like this. And I know everyone's going to get just so much out of it. Yeah, Peter.
Yeah, I just want to say one other thing that may help people that might be on the fence. I don't know John Jackson very well, but I have known him for over 20 years, about 20 years when he first got started. I hooked up with him. I really wanted to get into real estate full time, but I got a call from the government that pulled me into some project management things that I had to do. But I always wanted to do real estate. My father was a realtor and his father was a realtor. And I think I got real estate in my blood. So I've been eager to get back into this. And I have watched John Jackson through his emails. When we first got established, he didn't let me go, but he kept on keeping me informed by emails. And I know that his business has grown substantially since then. And he's gotten a lot wiser over the years. He's got a lot more. In 20 years, you can learn a lot of information. And I know he's got tons of contacts with the very best. And there's a lot of endorsements through many gurus that know John, and they recommend him. I'm one that really hasn't benefited yet from his training, but I hope to very soon, and to help some people that are in dire situations in real estate right now. And please come on board and join us on this team. I know there's very good money to be made in this process, but you got to know what you're talking about. You got to get the training. And probably many of you have paid a lot of money for other training. It is not going to pay you what this is going to pay in the long run. So he's really starting a new career. And I'm getting started a little bit late, but I would like to get to meet you and as we grow in this process, and please come on board. I think you'll benefit from John's, right? I know you're going to benefit from John's training. I've gotten to like him a lot more in the last week that we've managed to get together. And I'm looking forward to this boardroom meeting and helping him kickstart my career. And I hope he can do that for you.
Well, Peter, I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much for the kind words. And yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, 20 years. Yeah, I've been in this for 20 years. Yeah, you're right. You know, people spend a lot of money on events and travel and this and that, and leave with information, but without a game plan, without an actionable game plan of, okay, well, what are you going to do when you get home? Let's lay that out. And you are right that I'm very blessed to have a tremendous amount of contacts in the business. We had a deal, Kevin's deal that just closed in North Carolina. I don't know if y'all saw that email or not.
Yeah.
So he just closed his first deal, getting ready to close his second. It was a seller finance in North Carolina. And Joe reached out to me and said, hey, we've got the seller finance in North Carolina. Do you have a title company? And I literally sent one text message, and within 10 minutes, I said, yep, here you go. Because of my contacts in the space, and they got it closed for us.
Okay.
But yeah, there's guys, I'm telling you, there's tremendous opportunity here with not just lease options, but with seller finance and subject to. Again, we'll be doing a deep dive in there in the boardroom, talk to you about what to do, what not to do, what to look for the deals, how to set the numbers, and all of that. So it's going to be a phenomenal event. Again, December 7th, 8th, and 9th, downtown Fort Worth. We're going to go from 9 to 5 each day. On Thursday, again, for the people that laugh at my material, I'm going to buy you dinner Thursday night for everybody there. Again, guys, if you're interested, you can text me 817-980-0068, 817-980-0068. If you're watching this recording, our website should be live by then. Boardroomliveevent.com, boardroomliveevent.com, and you can secure your seat there. If you do go through boardroomliveevent.com to secure your seat, you will be getting a call from me directly, because I want to have a conversation with you and talk to you about where you are, what you're looking for, what are your goals, what are your aspirations. Again, make sure the boardroom is right for you. But that's I appreciate it. Well, let me say we've got a few people on the line. Any questions while we're here live? Any questions from anybody? Anybody here with me live? Bill better have a question. He was on here an hour early. Let me go to the chat box here.
Nothing at all.
Oh, nothing. Okay. All right. All right, Bill. All right. Anthony, Mike, Scott, any questions? I don't see.
This is Anthony. No questions.
All right, Anthony. To give you an idea of the opportunities out there, I have a portfolio of 6 short-term rentals in San Antonio that were brought to me by a broker, and they need creative finance. So, all right, here I come with the seller finance. And if we can get one more document from the owner, I've been waiting a week for their P&L on this portfolio, then I can move it. I've got buyers ready to go. That'll be over $3.1 million portfolio deal. That'll be the single biggest deal I've done. So that'll be a nice, if I can get that one last document, I can move this and get those hair transplants I've been wanting. So, but yeah, there's a lot of opportunity out there, guys. This is the perfect market.
Yeah.
For creative finance. And guys, I look at Peter, I know you've got your seat reserved. We've got 5 seats as of this recording. We're doing it live, but we have 5 seats left. The other gentleman that is going to be joining us for a little bit at the event, talking a little bit more about subject to and seller finance. He is very, very big on social. And the reason I say that is once he tells his followers that he's going to be an event with me, he's got the powerhouse on social media to snatch up the last seats. So I say that because if you're interested, you need to pull the trigger on this before he blasts it out there to his 30,000 followers. All right, guys, thank you so much, Peter. Finally, good to meet you virtually.
Yes, nice to meet you too.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much again. Hope you wrote down my phone number. Again, 817-980-0068. That's my personal cell. Just shoot me a text, your name. Let me know that you're interested. If you're watching the recording, go to boardroomliveevent.com and you can secure your seat there. And we'll see you all at the boardroom. I'm excited. All right.
See you soon.
Take care, guys.